over to you.
All right, just press record. Now let me share screen. Give me a second to get set up and ready here. Let me just pull up the chat feed, see just in case. All right. Super. All right, welcome everybody. My name is Brian. I'm excited to have some friends here of mine joining us, as well as some new faces I haven't met yet. So for those of you that have not met me, I have been working with VNR for over a year now with Tom. Tom's a mentor and a friend of mine, and we work closely together, specifically on some of the digitalization and some of the tech things for Valley nonprofit resources, and providing some technical assistance to some of our nonprofits. And we've had a lot of fun. So it's been great working together. And I also provide consulting services outside of Valley nonprofit resources with a lot of businesses and nonprofits, which is a lot of fun to do, as well as have started my own nonprofit called Mentor Matchmaker Foundation that provides building mentorship programs specifically focused on the fight against sex trafficking. So what's really cool about this workshop of what we're going to talk about today is that it's combining my expertise on the for-profit and nonprofit side, and I'm very scrappy and tactical. So we're going to get very much in the weeds of going step by step on if you wanted to start today to monetize your nonprofit's expertise. If you wanted to monetize it starting today, we're going to talk about step by step what you need to do. And for those of you that are already doing it, I hope we give you some examples and some tactics that you can implement to help you grow even further. And also halfway through the tactics that I'm going to share with you, we have two really cool examples of local nonprofits that are doing this right now. They're live in the middle of their projects, and they're going to share what they've been doing and what's working for them. So all of you can learn from them as well. So let's have some fun. Please ask your questions after we go through the teaching, and we'll stick around as long as we need to make sure everybody's questions are asked. So let's jump in. So the first thing we tend to want to do when coming up with a new project is really focus on the product first. What's the product we're going to build, right? But what I want you to do before you think about the product that you want to build, the first thing I want you to do is think about who's going to be buying it. Who are the buyers? So before we worry about how we're going to productize our expertise, let's think about who are the people that are actually going to be buying this product that we create. So here are three different buckets of people that can potentially buy your product. You can be selling to the general public, the masses, or you can be selling to clients, family members of those clients that you're currently serving, or some of the communities that are within your area of service. Or you can be selling to other nonprofits, and within those nonprofits, you can be selling to their leadership or to specific staff members in their nonprofits. So before thinking about our expertise, just quickly think to yourself right now, are you going to be selling something to the general public? Are you going to be selling something to your clients, maybe the family members of those clients, or are you going to be trying to sell something to other nonprofits that are maybe going to be copying what you're doing? And if you want, you can type into the chat A, B, or C, and I can see here what some of you are thinking about. If you're looking for more of that, selling to other nonprofits, their staff and leadership, or if you're planning to maybe go directly to your clients and the general public. So you can type in A, B, or C there while I keep going. Oh, some B's and C's. So it's a little bit of both, right? Okay, but we're going to give some examples that cover both products for the general public and for other nonprofits and their staff and leadership. All right, so next, when you're thinking about these people that you're going to be selling to, like these other nonprofits, their staff and leaders, or to the clients and family members, right, that Rick just typed in there, let's think about what they really want to learn and obtain. So rather than thinking about what we want to put our foot forward with first, what do these people really want to obtain and learn? So here's a couple ideas to get you into this thought process of thinking about what they want to obtain and learn from you. You can ask yourself, where are people turning to you for advice or for extra help? Maybe what are some of the current programs that people want a copy of yours? And what are people already purchasing from your nonprofit, or what they're already subscribing to that they might want to continue doing or get more of? So those are just 3 quick ways to think about what these people really want to obtain and learn. And the last thing when thinking about our buyers is we want to make sure they're willing to pay for it. Because oftentimes we can come up with a product, and if they're not willing to give us the $5, $10, $100, $1,000, it can be very challenging to spend time educating them to want to make the purchase. So when we think about our buyers, we want to think about who we're selling to, what do they really want, and are they willing to pay for it? So first step, before we do anything, we think about our buyers, and now we move in to the expertise. So here's some ways to take inventory of the expertise that you have as a nonprofit that you can monetize. So the first idea here is to think about what are the programs and services that you're all currently running that you're doing really well. So you're getting, maybe perhaps it's received funding for, or received funding to expand on. It's something you receive recognition for in the community. People know that this is something that you guys do really exceptionally well. Or maybe it's a program that you keep expanding and expanding because you're doing it so well. And perhaps this is a program that other nonprofits are going to want to learn. Another idea can be to think about what are the current products and services that you're currently providing, but it's limited to local people. Like David from the Wildlife Learning Center, he's going to talk about in just a moment a product that was limited locally, but now it's digitized and expand nationally. And another example to think about your expertise is, what do you have a track record of accomplishing that other people may want to learn? And finally, what's the unique flavor that you and your staff and your organization bring into your area of service? Because oftentimes that can be beneficial to help other organizations get past the hump, or it can be something they're interested in learning about and bringing within their organization. So these are 4 ideas to take inventory of your expertise. And now let's talk about how do you assess your expertise. So we talked about the market and we talked about the product, and let's try and bring these 2 together. So we want to make sure our expertise or product is needed or desired. And how do we know if it's really needed or desired by the audience that we're going after? So here's some questions that I will give you to help you answer that. So here's some examples. So would your expertise or product help other organizations save time in setting up a new program? If you're helping other people save time in setting up their program, it's a win for their organization, and it's something they'll be willing to pay for. Also, if your product or expertise can help them provide better services to their clients, it's also something they're interested in purchasing, because it can help them get more funding. A lot of nonprofits are looking for ways to improve their operations and improve their programs to expand some of the funding that they receive. Also, if you're looking to, also on the same note on serving the staff and leaders at other nonprofits, if your expertise can help them solve a problem they can't figure out lately, or a trending problem that they don't have a lot of expertise on, that's something they'd be interested in getting a head start on. And for those of you going to the general public, or to your clients that you're serving and the families of the clients that you're serving, you want to think about how your product satisfies the desire that they have or to alleviates a pain point. Oftentimes, like an example that we usually do is we'll go out and buy different types of services that can help us kind of satisfy a desire faster. So something that's a little bit more tailored to us, to our need, and maybe we're a little impatient. So purchasing that informational product can help us satisfy that desire faster. Or maybe it's something we've been challenged with, and purchasing this new course or this new product can help us kind of overcome that frustration and kind of bring us back to that happy place where we're at. So we want to help people save time, help people solve problems, satisfy them being a little bit impatient to get things done, and we know that our expertise can help them solve that problem. So this is laying the groundwork for understanding if our expertise can be monetizable. And a fun metaphor that I like to use when thinking about our product and whether it's monetizable and whether we should even put the resources into it is really having confidence on whether our product is mouthwash or toothpaste. And this is a fun metaphor. If we were to ask everybody here if they brush their teeth in the morning, how many of you brush your teeth with toothpaste this morning? By a show of hands, right? Most people are going to say, yeah, I brushed my teeth this morning. But I've asked how many of you use mouthwash. We're not going to see as many hands come up, except David, because mouthwash is not a real need that people have day to day. So when thinking about your product or expertise, you really want to make sure that you've created something that's toothpaste and not mouthwash. It's really something that's really satisfying a pain point. It's a really strong desire people have. Because if it's not a strong desire that people really have, and it's not something that they need immediately to make their daily lives better, it's going to be a lot harder for them to want to make a purchase. So you really want to make sure you're creating something really juicy, something really exciting that's really satisfying a current need that they have. It's got to be toothpaste. It can't be mouthwash. All right, so let's go through 5 different examples of ways nonprofits are monetizing their expertise. These 5 examples are really low-hanging fruit that all of us can implement right away with minimal resources. So example number 1, self-publishing an ebook. So if you're trying to reach other nonprofits, their staff and leadership, or even the general public, or the families of the clients that you're serving, you can publish an ebook on Amazon Kindle, and it takes 5 minutes. It's a matter of writing out the content, creating your outline, filling in your outline, publishing that PDF and uploading it to Amazon Kindle. So you're taking written content, you're publishing it to Amazon Kindle, and if you're selling that ebook for $10, Amazon's going to give you 70% of the revenue that comes in for your book. And the benefit of publishing it to Amazon is if anyone goes to Amazon and searches in your subject matter expertise, whether it's about animals or mental health or diversity, equity, and inclusion, you're benefiting from Amazon already being a place that people are going to search for. So you don't have to work so hard to get that traffic to your website, but you do have a chance of winning some eyeballs just by listing your book up on the Amazon platform. So here's an example that the American Cancer Society did, where they created an ebook that's up on the platform for servicing families of the clients that they're serving. So in this case, it's helping children cope with a parent's illness. And so they're serving the clients that they're already working with, and they're taking the expertise from the experts within their organization, putting it on a document, uploading it to Amazon, and now they have a product live. And once the product's live up on Amazon, there's not much more you have to do to revise it, unless you want to revise it every year. So low-hanging fruit, one way for you to get your information out there in the public. And one thing that's really nice too about having a book up there is its credibility. And it's great for us as nonprofit leaders to have that credibility of having that that publication about our about the area that we serve. So that's one example. Another example are templates. So Etsy, you might know Etsy as a platform where you buy handmade products like knitted crocheted blankets or something that your grandma makes. But Etsy is actually also a place where a lot of people publish templates that you can be selling to the general public or other nonprofits. So for example, here, this is a PTO bundle, so parent-teacher organization bundle that includes some checklists and a newsletter template, back-to-school flyer templates that these people create on Canva, which all of us that are nonprofit founders get the premium account for free. Canva is a really easy editing tool that has a ton of templates for you to use for free, and they make it very easy to design some content. And you can take that content, take 5 or 6 PDFs that you create on Etsy, on Canva, and you can upload them to Etsy. And again, Etsy being a marketplace, you benefit from the people going in there and searching for certain items on there. That's another place for you to publish your expertise. A third example, this might be a little bit more time intensive on the in-person side of things, is to create a training program, a live training program. So an example here is a program that I'm currently in now through the Jewish Federation called New Leaders Project. It's all about civic engagement. And it's a year-long program where there's about 30 of us every year, young professionals, and they put together 12 events, 1 event per month. Each event is a panel on something related to civic engagement. And we had to all pay a $500 donation to the Jewish Federation to get into the program. And at each event, they have 2 or 3 panelists from local organizations participating. And also prior to each workshop, they send us some articles about the topic that we're talking about. So they put together a structured training program that just consists of about 12 events, low-hanging fruit. Sometimes they do their events at partner organizations, venues, and they have 30 of us engaged into the program. So this is something that you can be putting together as well. It doesn't have to be a 12-month program. It can be a paid event. It can be a small one-off event. Two more examples. One is premium video and gated content. So I like to use the metaphor of the similar content that you're putting up on LinkedIn or your Facebook platform, or publishing on your blog, on your website. You can put a payment wall around that and charge people for it. So here's an example. This is a nonprofit called The Conscious Kid, and he did exactly that. He created a Patreon site. Patreon, similar to Etsy or where you build your website, is you can publish content and you can create little tiers from $1, $5, $10, $20, $50 a month, where people can access the content that you're creating. So some of the content you might want to put up there are some of the content that you're already creating, like your case studies or interviews, some research that you're doing within your industry, or reports that you're publishing, trends you're looking at in the future. And you're packaging this content into little posts on a feed, but instead of putting it for free on your LinkedIn profile or on your Facebook profile, you're charging for it. But you can still be using social media to drive to this content, drive traffic to this content. And then lastly, technical assistance. So technical assistance is, if I were to explain technical assistance, it's hands-on consulting work to other organizations. So it's more than just answering a quick one-off question on a 30-minute phone call. It's more of a structured consultation, where perhaps it's 6 one-hour sessions in a row, or a full day or a half day of 3 hours in a row, working with a nonprofit staff and leadership, and you're providing them with really hands-on guidance customized to their specific situation on how they can implement a program within their organization. That can also include standard operating procedure templates, Or like, for example, with Mentor Matchmaker Foundation, I built the software for managing the mentorship program, licensed that out to another organization and provided them with technical assistance on how to implement their mentorship program. So that's technical assistance. Another example here is a nonprofit focused on homeless services as a specific program that works really well and can consult other nonprofits that serve the same population on how to do a similar program, how to copy their program. So that's 5 examples. Would love to know if any of these seemed interesting for you. You can type it into the chat if any of these examples seemed interesting for you. And then we'll jump into our 2 live examples that we have here that we're hosting today. Nice. Self-publishing. All of them. Cool. Technical assistance, Lydia. Nice. Okay, last ideas for creating content. Sometimes if you don't know what type of content you want to create, the first thing to do is to jump to your audience and ask them what they want to learn. If you're self-publishing a book or you're trying to figure out what kind of technical assistance to provide, ask your potential buyer, hey, what kind of book do you want to, what kind of book would you read? What kind of technical assistance would you like to receive? So just simply ask them. Also, take content that you're already publishing at your webinars, at your live events, and document it. And lastly, the reason I put the picture of Beyonce here is because don't be afraid to copy what's already out there and working. Beyonce is quoted for copying but innovating. She likes to copy other musicians or other choreographers, but she likes to put her own spin on things. So if you see something out there that is getting monetized, and you think you could be doing something similar, jump on it and put your own spin on it, add your unique flavor to it. All right, so last thing before we jump into our examples is how much do you charge? And there's a couple ways that I would go about this. One, just look at what the market is charging for, and you can get yourself right there in the middle. You can charge market price for it. Or another way you can do it is you can go about another way to go about this is to quantify the value proposition. So the way that I go about quantifying the value proposition is I think about how much time am I saving this organization or this person, and can I put a dollar amount on that time? So for example, if an organization is looking for some technical assistance on how to implement a new program related to diversity, equity, and inclusion, and they don't have that expertise, and you know that within some of the work that you've done in the past, it'll take them about 100 hours to get up to speed in this subject. And if they pay their staff $35 an hour to go learn and study and read articles and put together standard operating procedures, and you can save them 100 hours at $35 an hour, you'll be saving them about $3,500. So if you were to be charging $2,500 for this technical assistance, you're helping that organization save $1,000. And that's one way you can present the technical assistance to these organizations. And then lastly, is just a quick reminder it's about finding product market fit. So product market fit is this business word that people throw around all the time. It's what we talked about from the get-go, is we're building a product, right? We're packaging our expertise. That expertise has to really match the desire of someone. So if you're targeting the general public and its parents, and they're working with kids and they want to find an activity for their child, they have to really have that desire to find an activity, a virtual activity to get for their child. Or if it's providing expertise to leadership at an organization, the desire has to be there. So it's that toothpaste. There really has to be a desire for what you're providing in order for this to work. So the product that you're creating has to match the desire. The value that you're bringing has to match the desire and their willingness to pay for it. And if those mesh really well, the rest is very easy. The implementation side is very easy. So with that, we have two awesome experts that are going to share some really cool programs that they're doing. And after they share their examples, I'm gonna show you how to advertise and promote your products that you're creating. So Susan, you want to jump in? I can stop sharing, and you can go for it.
All right. Can you hear me? Yes.
Yes.
All right. So my name is Susan Montalvo, and I'm the Director of Communications at Child Care Resource Center here in the Valley, also known as CCRC. For almost 50 years, CCRC has been working with children, parents, and child care providers in all things related to early care and education. We started in the early 1970s with a group of volunteers that we call the Founding Mothers, and they decided to help parents find the right childcare environment to fit the needs of their family. They didn't see that a service existed. Then we incorporated in 1976 as a childcare resource and referral agency, and expanded really big in the 1990s when we were awarded contracts from the county and the state to administer childcare financial assistance payments, mostly to support women returning to work. When I started in 2002, we had about 250 employees with a budget of just under 100 million. And Dr. Michael Olnick, who is a friend of Tom's, was hired as CEO that same year. And right out of the gate, he started talking to us about diversifying our funding. And he thought we were too dependent on the subsidized child care funding, which was the majority, like 90% of our budget, and wanted us to look for other ways to grow to sustain our work. It really hit hard when the recession came in 2008, and some of our funding was reduced and some of it was cut altogether. And while we managed to skate through pretty well, it was a wake-up call for a lot of us. So we really started to talk about social enterprise, what it is, why would we do it, how does it work, how much time. And we had a lot of pushback and concern about charging for things that we traditionally offered to clients for free. But we thought it was worth the effort to try so that we could fund some of our existing gaps and also to pilot new programs. So we picked one of our low-hanging fruit or toothpaste ideas. I love the toothpaste analogy, and decided to create a fee-for-service training academy based on our knowledge and expertise. We originally aimed at other nonprofits and childcare providers as our customers, and began offering to anybody trainings to work with young children and families. Sessions included CPR and first aid, observations and screenings, emergency preparedness and response, and program development. We taught some of the courses ourselves, and we also hired other people depending on the skills that were required and availability. And we didn't have a ton of resources dedicated to this, but it did go pretty well. I think all nonprofits can understand that. We charged an average of about $125 a training, and most attendees were not childcare providers or other nonprofits, but people from all types of professions. We did offer in-person trainings only at all of our locations in LA and San Bernardino. And if you had a group of 15 or more, we would go to your business. Over about 10 years, we trained almost 5,000 people, and it was well received. And then most recently, we expanded our ideas to help other resource and referral agencies across the state with their social enterprise. So to help them increase the capacity to do some of this work, we started providing them with training to be able to facilitate a training or to train other people to train and get paid for that. And these were nonprofits of all sizes currently, from 50 employees to 500. And we're working on curricula with them, including the Strengthening Families Parent Cafes, Act Early, Read the Signs, and 0 to 3 is the Growing Brain curriculum. They're all national and really well known. And this has enabled over 50 agencies across the state to create their own social enterprise opportunities. And we're moving into trauma-informed care training to be delivered to childcare providers also. And talk about digitizing. So the training, the academy got moved to the communications team, which is me and my staff just recently. And we're going to expand our in-person training, but we're also going to digitize and move to online also, and not just in the ECE field, but also advocacy, research and evaluation, marketing, and communications. And in my last few seconds, I would say that it's not all sunshine and roses. When you work in a nonprofit that mostly has contract funding and people are used to grants administration, it's tough to figure out the income and the expenses and how to track employee time and how to juggle your regular work and your extra work, which is social enterprise. But, you know, all in all, it's been really rewarding for us and has helped us continue to meet our mission to cultivate child, family, and community well-being.
Sweet. So if you have questions for Susan, you can ask them after, after the workshop. She's going to stick around and she'll be able to answer some questions. Even I have questions for you too. Cool. David, you want to jump in?
Yeah, hi, my name is David Ryherd, and I'm the director of Wildlife Learning Center. We're located in Sylmar, which is in the San Fernando Valley. Our organization exists to take in exotic animals that were in need, for example, animals that were kept as illegal pets or injured wildlife that sustained injuries that prevent them from surviving in the wild. And sometimes what is referred to as zoo surplus. So we have about 100 animals here that needed a home, and we care for them and provide public education in the life sciences and just about animals in general for those who are interested. And then we participate in species preservation programs to maintain a zoological population of species, kind of as a safety net for extinction. We do rely on donations, but a lot of our income is earned income from general admission to tours, special animal experiences, school programs. We go out to schools to do assemblies, but we also are a destination for field trips. And then we do a lot of private events, both on-site and off-site, like birthday parties. So we're always looking for ways to bring in income. We're a very small organization, just a staff of about 12 people here. Our expenses are close to $1 million a year. So that's a lot for a small organization like ours to raise. And we were really hurt when COVID hit, because we depended on people visiting and signing up for these tours and these events to fund the care of the animals and our operations. And so at the same time we were shut down, schools were as well. And my son was in kindergarten at the time. And so his classes were all online. And what I was surprised to find was that there was much less teacher teaching time than I would have expected. A lot of what was taught was supplemented through YouTube videos, or just these little videos about art classes or history or social studies. And these were outside organizations that I think the schools just found through YouTube. And I thought, this is something we really need to provide. So the first thing we looked into doing was giving virtual presentations. And we had kind of limited success with that. We didn't get a ton of schools signing up, certainly not enough to fund and pay for all our bills that we had around here. But I was seeing examples everywhere of organizations really having a lot of success with video content, and I thought somehow we have to jump on that. So it was clear to me that digital marketing was becoming more and more important, and I was able to get a grant to increase our digital marketing, and started working with Brian to do that. And we developed some educational videos that we're calling Species Spotlights. And these are videos where people can learn about the life sciences. School teachers could utilize them, just like I was seeing with my son's classes. I didn't see anything for the life sciences, though. I saw art, and social studies, and history, but nothing with the life sciences. And I thought, this is a niche that needs to be fulfilled, and I think that there's really a market there. And just to fast forward, this wasn't something that turned out to be just useful during COVID. I'm noticing now my son is in 3rd grade, and they're still utilizing some of this video content to teach the students. So Brian was great. He had a photographer and videographer come in, help us create these videos that that teachers or educators could use for their classes. And it's something we could charge $20 or so to start for 6 educational videos and some worksheets to accompany them. And so we're still in the process of making these videos, but we're hopeful this will help. I really think it will. I've just seen so many examples of organizations finding new revenue streams through social media and video content. I mean, one example that really surprised me was we had a new pond built for our bald eagles. This beautiful stream and pond for their enclosure, and the person that sells the pond products was spending most of his time. The person that owned this business was spending most of his time creating video content, and that became one of his greatest sources of income. And I thought, what kind of video can you make out of pond equipment? But he found a way. And he really encouraged me to spend more time doing this. And there's so many people that love animals, and the life sciences required curriculum that we're missing out here. And so by working with Brian, I think we're finally, getting involved in something that can be a much needed revenue stream, in addition to what we've provided in the past. And then we also, Brian helped us create these QR codes, which will hopefully enhance our fundraising abilities. So when people come to Wildlife Learning Center and they see an animal and they read about its story, for example, we have a monkey that was confiscated during a drug bust, and this animal was badly abused. It did survive, but he was not in good shape when he arrived here. And so if someone felt compelled to help this animal, they can use the QR code, scan it right there when it's really kind of the moment where they're most interested, and contribute to its care by sponsoring the animal or donating monthly. And so we're really excited to get those going. And we think, we see so many people walk away inspired by the stories, but they probably get home and get busy and get on with other things in their lives. And so by giving them the opportunity to sponsor that animal right here on site, that's the time to get them. And so we have these signs and the QR codes and these stories that hopefully will motivate people to help. And so this is an area where we're really hoping to grow in. I think there's just a ton of potential for us here.
Super awesome. All right, so David will stick around if you have questions on that, and let's keep it going. And just got a few more things that I want to share with you on how to promote your product and how to get more traffic in there, and then we'll open it up for some Q&A. Share my screen again. All right. All right, so let's say we're at the stage now where we've got our expertise wrangled up on paper, and we're ready to get it out there. We've got our product defined, and we're ready to get it out there. We're confident that it's going to match what people want. But there's a challenge we run into is we can't just advertise our product on our front door. We can't just stick a flyer on our front door because no one's going to see it. And you know, if it's out of sight, out of mind. So we got to get some eyeballs on our product so people know what we're doing. So here's some ways that we can get the word out. And we had talked about earlier, leveraging the platforms that already exist. So Amazon's publishing house, Udemy. Udemy is for like teaching courses. Let's see, basically any type of platform where people are doing their searches for expertise, we want to be out there. Also, we know, right, we got to be posting up on our social media posts. And when I say posting, I mean posting repetitively, because just because you post on a Monday doesn't mean everybody sees your post on that Monday. So don't be bashful to keep showing and showcasing your product on your social media every day, and keep showing different aspects of your product or expertise. Keep getting the word out there. You have your own events that you're hosting, where you can publicize your products that you created before the event starts, and also speaking at other events related to the area of service that you're working on. And then also free Google AdWords. And I just want to quickly dive in to Google AdWords because it's a free resource for you that's underutilized, and it's very simple to set up. You as an individual can set this up, and Google gives you $10,000 a month because you're a nonprofit and search ad credits. You see these ads, like if you type in animal rescue or diversity, equity, and inclusion training, there are ads that show up at the top of the search result. And because you're a nonprofit, Google lets you show your ads for free, whereas other organizations might pay $2.50 for that click. Well, if you multiply that by 100 clicks, you know, it starts to add up. But you get to do this for free, and it's pretty easy for you to set up. So here's how you set it up. If you were to run a Google Ads campaign, it's just in 3 steps. First, think about the words or phrases that people are going to be searching on Google. Are they searching for diversity, equity, and inclusion training? Or are they searching for children's activities? So write down the list of words or phrases that people are going to be searching. Then you create some headlines that match those descriptions. So if it's DEI training program is the search query, your headline can be DEI training program based on a decade of experience. And then once someone clicks on your ad, you just have to remember they're going to go to a web page or a landing page. A landing page means someone lands on your website from where they click. A landing page is the same thing as a web page, and it just has a very clear and compelling message, that value proposition that we were talking about earlier, the benefits that they're going to receive by taking the program, the time they're going to save, how happy they're going to feel, the pain point that's going to be solved. You got to put some credibility on there, maybe some testimonials from your current clients or partners, and some frequently asked questions. So let's look at examples of what these look like. So this is the Google Ads platform, and don't get overwhelmed. It's just you're typing in your URL, then you're typing in those keywords that you think people are going to be searching. So for the Wildlife Learning Center here, we've got animal education, kids science, kids biology, learn about animals, learn about sloths. So those are the phrases that we're gambling on that we think people are going to be searching. Then we create our headlines, right? So we have here like educate and entertain your children, learn about sloths, wildlife classes for kids, and we talk about all the exotic animals. Sloths are really hot nowadays, so we're trying to get on that trend and capture some of those eyeballs that are searching for sloths. We've got kids biology classes. So we type in our headlines, then we type in our descriptions, some of the value proposition there, the benefits of the program, right? So this program helps children learn about animals and enrich their imagination. Children think animals are fascinating, satisfy their curiosity with this learning program. We got a cool picture there. So those are your steps for creating your ads. And then something else that's kind of cool that Google offers you what are called audiences or in-market audiences. So if you want to target parents or people in the nonprofit sector or people who are maybe divorced or single or any type of interesting audience that you're looking for, Google will give you an option to show your ads to them. And then from there, you can see your platform. You'll start getting data that looks like this. Well, you'll start seeing what keywords are working and what keywords people are typing in that they're clicking on. And it's a constant evolving process, but it's very easy to get up and running. Just get it up. Google will help you for free. You can talk to them on the phone. You can watch YouTube videos on how to create ads. But just get your ads up there. You can ask us. I'm glad to give you some advice to get it up and running. And then from there, once they click on your ad, you want it to go to a landing page. So here's a quick mock-up of a landing page for this new product that we're just about to launch for Wildlife Learning Center. So we have a really cool, some really cool pictures of the exotic animals because we think that's going to be eye-catchy. There's going to be a fun headline to inspire your children with exotic wildlife, spark their sense of wonder, and then it'll drive them to purchase this product for $20. And so that's our landing pages. But let's say you want to create some video content. Let's say your product is a video. Here's a couple quick steps to kind of help you with creating your video content. The first thing is just kind of pencil the storyboard. The storyboard is what I have here on the screen, where you just a couple pictures with paper and pencil and stick figures on what you want to be filming in your video content. Sometimes it can just be you on screen on a Zoom recording. So that's fine, and maybe you don't need the storyboard. And then give yourself a shot list. So type up what your shot list is going to look like. I just use an Excel spreadsheet for all my shot lists, with how much time I'm going to record and some notes. So just a quick notes on a shot list. A shot list means all the different clips that you want to get in your video. So if you're recording a 30-minute video, or in the Wildlife Learning Center, we recorded 8-minute videos, and we have a clip of the animal being fed and the biologist saying certain things in a specific order. And we had that listed in order, and we followed that structure when we were filming. And we wrote a script. We wrote that script on a little dry erase board, and we put that dry erase board behind the camera, and the biologist read from that script. And we filmed clips on a camera, and we filmed clips on my cell phone, and both had very high quality. So you can record all of this on your smartphone. You can edit this for free with Canva, and there's free tools that you can put subtitles up there as well. And lastly, I want to remind you something interesting that Susan touched on, which is leveraging strategic partnerships. So Susan mentioned not all of the content was created by their own in-house employees. She mentioned that they brought in other people to teach workshops as well. So look to your strategic partners to create your content together. And the other benefit about working with your strategic partners when you create a new product is you get to promote this product to both of your audiences. So more eyeballs are going to get onto your pages, onto your products, and that's a higher chance of more monetization. And then lastly, use the freemium model. Freemium model just means provide something for free. Maybe in say like the Wildlife Learning Center, we could provide 1 8-minute video for free, and to get the remaining 7 videos, sign up for our product. Or you can teach some free classes and provide a free 1-pager with a call to action to subscribe to the product. And lastly, we have to just make sure that everybody knows that when you're monetizing your products or any activities, you have to consider your tax implications. even if you're a tax exempt organization. But I've made it really easy for you. There's 2 links here that you can read about that will tell you exactly whether or not you need to pay taxes on the products that you're creating. So just check out those links before you go live or share them with your accountant. So now let's open up the floor for any questions, thoughts. You have Susan, David, Tom, and myself. We're excited to to answer any questions you have. Yeah, so go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay.
And,
Brian, can you stop the recording, please?
yes. Stop the recording.